Dove, hello!
Hello.
How are you doing?
Better now.
Why, because of the energy?
You're bringing the energy.
I thought you'd be, like, extremely energetic.
I know you'd think. I've slept about 6 hours in the last 3 nights.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
you're
I'm
in a massive
working
movie,
on it.
though.
Yeah, so that's all that matters.
I don't know how much sympathy I really have.
It's true.
Third Descendants film. How has the process of making it changed from number 1 and number 2?
I feel like in number 1, there was a lot of training going on. Like, there was definitely a lot of learning and a lot of, like, people... Like I had to really like go through dance training, and a lot of people had to go through singing training. And then in the second one, we were a bit more old hat at it, and but then we had to learn how to sword fight, and that was quite like an added challenge. And then by the third one, we just knew what we were doing in every regard. So it was, you know, I think we all went into it kind of like all guns blazing and sort of like really ready to take on any challenge.
You say you were covered in every regard.
Mm-hmm.
You know the dancing, you know the sword fighting. Was there anything that you needed to train for, maybe acting like an old hag?
No, that one was my most natural role. I am, in fact, in my heart of hearts, an old hag.
Okay.
So that one was quite easy. And I didn't have anything to do with the prosthetics, so I just had to kind of like...
Hunch.
Have really bad posture, but yeah, my posture's not great anyway, so.
It's not just your third film as Dove, it's Mal's third film.
Yeah.
What's she feeling coming into Descendants 3?
I think she's definitely feeling more of a sense of self. It's very funny, Mal's state of mind in the script always semi-reflects mine. And I don't know whether I convinced myself of that or if it's like quite organically so. But she, in the third film, or actually I think a lot of it, like all come into it with a certain frame of mind, and then Mal reflects that, you know, in the way that I portray her. So I feel like in this one, both Mal and I are in places of like, really sort of, I feel very grounded myself in my opinions and who I am and what I believe in, where I think I was always kind of searching for that growing up. I was always like, who am I? What do I believe in? What are my, you know, my morals? Like, where's my moral compass pointing and things like that. And I think in this one, Mal really comes into this with like quite a lot of integrity and a lot of like self-development, and she's done a lot of work on herself. And she's stepping into a role of government, a role of governing a large mass of people, and that kind of responsibility of making decisions that affect large swaths, you know, cities.
Swaths?
Swaths.
I like a swath.
Yeah, thank you.
No, that's fine, that's cool. You say that she's got this integrity, you say that she's honest. I'm just not too sure. So I thought, because is she really evil? Is she a villain? Because the whole way through we're thinking, you know, is she telling the truth? Is she lying again? No one knows her better than you. What do you think?
I mean, is anyone really a villain?
I'm not letting you get out of it with that ambiguous question.
Listen, I'll break this down for you. This is my belief. I believe everybody, at their core of cores, is good. Yeah. I truly believe that.
Not rotten to the core.
Not rotten to the core. I don't believe anybody is. But I do think your circumstances and, you know, other things like genetics and things like that, like how you were raised, nature versus nurture, I think there's a culmination to make people who they are. It's not my place to say what those things are or if everybody's going to turn out the same way in every environment. Like, that's no commentary on that. But I don't believe that anybody, including somebody like Maleficent or Hades, I don't think that they're naturally evil. Because I think that's kind of quite like an inhuman thing to be. I think humans at their core are quite empathetic, sympathetic. It's just probably covered by a lot of trauma or something like that. So I do think that Mal has this kind of charming disposition of like mischievous kind of quality, and she's definitely cunning, and she can be manipulative. She has the ability to be a lot of these things that we kind of characterize as evil. But I think she's quite a good person. I think she definitely is very intense, I think, which a lot of people can register as dark.
You mentioned Hades. There's a lot that we can talk about with Hades. The most important one for me, just how jealous are you of his hair?
Unbelievably jealous.
Because your hair's pretty good, I gotta say.
But like pretty good versus legendary.
The best hair I've ever seen.
I know.
And you start off with Hades with this just incredible music number.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? What was it like making it? Talk me through how you get this song, you record it in the studio, then you do it live on set. How does it all work?
Are you talking about the duet?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're great. You're making my day. The duet was really quite fun because Cheyenne is such an incredible singer. He's also a stage performer like myself. I mean, he's done much more work than I have on stage, but we come from that same kind of theatrical background. He has this crazy voice. He has this unbelievable mix for anybody who knows about singing. And you really hear both of us kind of belt our faces off in that song. But
I don't know anything about singing. What's a mix?
It's hard to, so like if you're singing like head voice, you know, like
Yeah.
your really high falsetto versus chest voice, I feel like everybody's kind of familiar with those two differences. A mix is where they meet.
Ooh.
And so you actually hear like Ariana Grande do it a lot. So like when she's like really low and then she goes really high, but it's not weak sounding, it's not her falsetto, she's mixing.
Oh, the bit where it goes from that bit, that in the middle.
Right, but you can make it really strong. Exactly, just like
Okay,
that. You
thank
sounded
you.
just like Ariana Grande there.
I know, I've worked on it.
But it's really something that you can kind of strengthen, and it's something that if you do a lot of musical theater is required of you a lot. A lot of people might think it sounds like belting, but a lot of what sounds like belting is actually mixing, technique-wise. But anyway, I really could go on about that forever. But Cheyenne has this incredible mix, and you hear him dip into that a lot. And what was fun about recording this number was that we are both very intense singers, and so they had us record it live together instead of like usually what you do when you're recording a song with multiple people is you have them record it on their own, and then the next person will come in and record it on their own, and then they mesh it all together. Did you see how I didn't mesh it? I was like, they mesh it all
It's a
together.
slight mesh. It's a meat.
These
It's a
nail-
mix, you
these
might say.
Nails are too long. But Cheyenne and I did it together live so that we could get the emotion and we could be singing at each other from across the room. And it was really quite beneficial in terms of acting and intensity of vocal. And then, of course, you record it later on set and you just match that intensity.
Now, Dove,
Yes.
about 4 years ago, you were my first ever interview for Fun Kids for the radio station.
So this is a reunion.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it. I felt it when you walked in.
Back in the day, we played a game called Dove's Loves.
Yeah.
Quick-fire questions to try and see a little bit more about you. I thought we'd do the same thing to see how much you've changed.
I can't wait.
Very quick, first one, favourite food?
Garlic bread
On the side of something?
as a meal itself.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Are you never worried about the after effects, breath-wise, of garlic bread?
You just cover it with macaroons.
Okay, that's an odd combination. What's your favourite thing to do other than star in Disney movies?
Ooh, read or write.
Favourite book?
A collection of poetry by Jack Gilbert. The
Oh.
Great Fires.
What are you writing? Are you writing anything at the moment?
Yeah, I'm actually writing a book right now.
Oh, what's it about? Very quickly.
Can't tell you.
God damn. What's your favourite Disney Channel movie? Or Disney movie generally, apart from Descendants?
Ooh, well, I mean, a Disney Channel original movie, I feel like High School Musical,
Yeah,
but
okay.
also like Pixel Perfect and, you know, all of those like really classic ones. But definitely High School Musical, because Kenny.
What's your favourite High School Musical?
First one.
Yeah?
Classic. Yeah.
Okay, I like the second when they all go and sing All for One by a pool.
Well, you and I have too many differences and we can't be friends.
Ah, it's a shame. What's your favourite song ever?
Song ever? Oh, Moonlight Serenade by Glenn Miller.
Favourite holiday that you have ever been on?
Oh, Paris with my boyfriend when we were only together for like 6 months.
Where did you go in Paris?
Well, we stayed in the Opera District,
Oh, okay.
but went all over.
Did you go up the Eiffel Tower?
We didn't go up. We just had a really romantic lunch. I know. Next time we go, we're gonna go to the catacombs, do the full thing. Paris is my favorite.
This is, what's your favourite place in the world aside from Paris?
Paris.
No, aside from Paris.
Paris.
Aside from.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You said aside from Paris. Probably Tokyo.
Oh, okay. I've never been. Is it nice?
It's quite nice.
Okay.
I'm going next week. You can come with.
No, we're disagreeing too much
He
about
says
this.
no.
We're disagreeing too much about this. Lastly, what's your favourite song in Descendants 3?
Probably My Once Upon a Time or the finale.
Amazing. Dove, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.